Now, top news stories, that's also another trend that we want to take a look for. iPad 2 tops the list, so it does show that Malaysians do love their gadgets. We're a gadget crazy nation. But here are some interesting stuff as well. We've got the Kennedy Space Center and the Kentucky Derby that's in there as well. How does that happen?
I've got to say that threw us off a bit. I have to confess. I mean, I guess it's safe to assume that things around NASA, etc., tend to attract a lot of attention. Just a couple of there's one point I do need to make. This is what is called a fastest rising search. It does not necessarily mean it was the most searched for.
Over the years,
right? So there's a difference. Because what we do is we set a minimum threshold, and then we kind of look at what's been the huge leap from the year before. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's the most searched for thing, but it certainly means that this is something that entered the Malaysian consciousness in the year.
The Kentucky Derby is actually quite surprising because one would expect Harimau Muda, Harimau Malaya to make the list. But
exactly.
And
we're not even a nation that loves horse racing, The Kentucky Derby is a big horse race in the USA. But could it mean that they were searching for something else? For example, maybe they just typed Kentucky for maybe a certain popular fast food brand, Could that be because it's really popular? Could that happen?
It could be.
Yeah?
It could be. I mean, can't rule that out. Again, bear in mind these are all algorithms, so we tend to determine it through computers.
Exactly. I just find that really funny, actually. Top image searches. How about that? The image most searched on the internet by Malaysians is
Justin Bieber.
How is that? How does that happen? I mean, of course, Justin Bieber.
Everyone's trying to emulate his haircut.
Yeah, well, there's that. There's this fashion thing. There's also possibly people trying to print out his pictures and try and put it on their walls, right?
Yes, because I believe he came to the country, right?
Yeah,
there was a concert, and probably you're right. They may want to make Justin Bieber masks.
There you go. So again, it's part of Malaysian consciousness, and it's funny, you can correlate the artists who made their way to Malaysia with their rising searches. Right?
Exactly.
If you come here, rest assured Malaysians love you.
But I think Justin Bieber is just throughout. Malaysia is still number one.
Yeah, true.
All right, and of course, another rising search that we will be exploring is the what is search. Can you tell us a little bit more? A lot of people type what is.
Yeah. So again, this goes back to the point I was making earlier about people researching things.
Yes.
So, when you want to figure out something, where do you go to? You go to a search engine. And you sort of ask it, what is?
Something and so forth.
Exactly.
I always type how to and just wait to see what comes up. How to? Oh, okay, I'll do that.
Does it change often, or is it the same thing every time you do it?
It changes.
It changes with the trend, right?
So it's really trying to sort of, again, for us to see what was the most kind of rising questions that Malaysian asked off of the search engine. And you can tell from the list again that there are some things that really caught the
eye of Malaysians.
The eye of Malaysians this year. Some were controversial, some were not.
Exactly. Of course, some of the controversial ones. This is actually at number one. What is bersih?
Yes, people want to understand what it's all about. It's all about. But number two, what is G6? I should actually Google that. What is G6?
The song.
That's the thing.
Okay.
Fly like a G6. There you go.
That's the one. But if you think about it, it's true, right? Like it's so popular. So in fact, on YouTube alone, the one of the official videos has got like 30-40 million views alone, right? One video. So you would think that people would be wondering, what is this thing? Is it the G8 kind of group of nations?
Exactly.
So I'm not surprised that
population parents are going, what is this G6
So that's a good point. It could be that the older ones. So this goes back to the point that whether it's only the young ones, maybe not. Maybe it's the older ones also saying, what is this?
You're actually onto something, bro.
Yeah.
And also, analyzing the searches, it seems that Malaysians do like their hacking and pirated software because in the top 10, what is jailbreak and what is hacking? So your comments on that?
Well, I guess this is, it's just, again, I don't want to really comment. Everybody's entitled to search for what they're interested in, right?
But number 10 is what is information. And it'd be interesting to know what exactly they were looking for when they type in what is information.
True. Again, it's hard to define something as broad as that. Right? And it's safe to say that people tend to go to a search engine for all kinds of information, all kinds. So
you capture the keyword information.
I guess this sort of stood out simply because it's
because something else that stands out is at number 5 is what are words? I mean, Why would someone search for that?
So one interesting thing for you to know is that every day, 15% of the queries that we see on Google are queries we've never seen before.
Okay.
Yes, every day. So imagine 50 out of 100 keywords or queries that we see
are totally new.
Are totally new. And that's because people just, it could be misspellings, it could be just new things, new topics, it could be just new interests. I mean, you name it, right?
Or something viral.
Precisely, right? Who knows what's going on right now?
That's how fast technology moves.
Precisely. So it's not static at all. So, again, it's hard to divine this, but at the same time, it's very interesting to kind of, let's say, it makes for great barroom chat.
Yes, exactly. And support predictions for the future as well. Maybe just to sort of wrap things up right here is the top TV shows. What do you Malaysians like to watch? And at number 1,
The Breakfast Show.
Wait, hold on. Are you sure? Boss asking. All right, actually, it's America's Next Top Model. How about that? We love our reality shows. Next is X Factor USA.
Yes.
Third one is American Idol.
A fourth one is Amazing Race. All for reality shows.
Exactly.
And then, of course, we've got TVB dramas. Hong Kong, dramas on the TVB are all very big.
Exactly.
And then there's that Nagama serial. Sounds Japanese.
Sounds Japanese, and My Princess, that's Korean, if I'm not mistaken. So we love our Japanese and Korean content.
And reality
Yes,
shows.
we
Seems to
love
be the way
that,
to go.
right?
Yeah.
Excellent. So, of course, what are the, as we wrap up this interview, some of your premonitions for 2012?
So I think, one very interesting thing to note is that a lot of these top kind of searchers, like, for instance, globally, the most rising term was, rising search was Rebecca Black.
Yes, she's number one,
Number one, right, globally. Chigushida in Malaysia. So my thing is, I think in this age, because of things going viral, because of things like YouTube, because of social, I think we're going to find a lot of self-created celebrities.
You know what? Yes, you're
That's going to be the trend.
And I think what's going to happen is people will start to share more about themselves, which they choose to, and out of every 100, perhaps one will again go viral. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that in 2012.
So basically everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame.
And
now you can create it
and a
yourself.
lot more, thanks
not?
to all these platforms, you can give yourself, create your own channel if you like.
Yeah, Sajid, thank you so very much for that insight into the Malaysian psyche, and of course,
it was fun.
Well, let's look forward to 2012, for each and every one of you who are interested to have that 15 minutes of fame extended to however long you want. It's all up to you now.
Entertain us, please.